What is up guys, Wraec is here with a new video, and today we got the new season Tower of Memory in AFK Journey, and especially if you haven't played for a few days maybe, this is now your time to come back because there is a ton of stuff to discover right now. And I of course don't want to leave you alone with it, so I assembled a few tips and a few things you should know about, including one new promo code with absolutely insane loot that will help you kickstart off your journey in Tower of Memory. So, starting off, I want to give you one tip, and it's the same tip really every single season, but I can't stress enough how important it is for you to stay competitive, and that is keep up with your AFK stages. You definitely want to have at least reached the maximum AFK efficiency for one day, which today is 100, and you want to progress a little bit more. Essentially to get like the AFK stage limit after 1 day and after 2 days. I personally right now have 4 days, which is like a pretty safe posture for me in case I decide to not push AFK stages for a few days, but you at least want to make sure and that I would recommend to at least push to stage 100 today so that you get the maximum loot. Then you can claim your quick claim loot already. This will now also give you the new training manuals that you will need for the season to level up all of your heroes. I once again decided to kind of do a little bit of a split, give 10 extra levels to my main hero, which is Shimira in this case, because of course she's now again for the first team the carry hero as well for Dream Realm, and the extra 10 levels will help that too. So definitely a thing that could help you progress through all of the stages if you have one hero with a few more levels. Beyond that, Legend Trial is of course open, and you want to go ahead and try to clear as much of that as possible too. I'm just on 14 here, actually haven't followed my own tip. I have to progress a little bit more here after the video, because I immediately started going into there and my level was a lot lower than it was there. But this is rather important for you, not only to get some loot, but also of course to get very essential resources to upgrade your artifacts, and also you can now go ahead and upgrade your Phantomals. We have new Phantomals. I decided to go for Bloom Mother first because of the Phantomal stages where I often find myself using 3 Wilder heroes. It's a very valid choice to go for the Skyclops if you are more on the Hypergen Celestial type of team, but those are both very valid, and I would go for something that you can use for those Phantomal stages, AFK stages, and that will help you mostly progress easier. Then of course I also said there is a new code, and I want to show you that. We can claim it together. You want to head on over to your menu, hit the little cogwheel down there to get into your settings, hit others, and there you will find the redeem code option. And the code that you want to reveal or want to redeem is this one. And as this is a little bit complicated, I will also put it down in a pinned comment and also in the description of the video so that you can copy it and claim it that way, keep it on the screen for a little bit longer, but that's basically it. And once we claim that, this will give us 20 epic invite letters. Absolute madness. That's probably, is it? I have to think about it. I think there was one very big key with the Celestial Hypergen selection box around the 1st anniversary. But probably after that, this should be one of the biggest key, codes that we have ever seen in this game. This game has not been great in terms of codes. The code's been mostly 100 gems, so this is absolutely insane. So definitely make sure you don't miss that code. Then for our next tip is really progressing the story. For the first part, the story will not really give you very much so insane loot. You will earn your first artifacts that way. The first 2 artifacts that you really earn in this story is the Light Heal spell, which you will get immediately. It's okay. Not great, but at least it gives you some restoration. It's your heal type artifact. Those have been never really that popular. Then we get this one, which is kind of nice, which will give you attack and energy recovery. This is also earned that way. And then there is a pay to win artifact, and I want to talk a little bit about that. Because this will also, well, basically come from progressing the story. Not really though. What this one does is pretty much deal insane damage. So can maybe quickly show that here. So essentially after your allies dealt 4 ults, you will see some circles under the enemies unless we are dead by that point, and this will pretty much deal insane true damage. I'll slow it down before we hit the next one. if we even do so. So this is number 3. Okay, we get the CC now from Cider. Shouldn't make it, so we get the next ult. I will slow it down now. Next ult coming up, you can see the circles appearing, and those really deal pretty good damage. I think the enemies right now, well, they seem a little bit tanky. I'm not sure we can even break through like this, even though they are CC'd. We might hit the 45-second cap here. I'm not too sure. But this artifact definitely deals a ton of damage, and it is not only popular here, it is also popular in Dream Realm. So in Dream Realm right now, the top formation is this one, which does include Cordan, which does include Roan, and of course the most popular Chimera is in there, and we can see the artifact that I just showed is in there as well, and is used to get the highest points there. This lifted me up to place 2, I think I'm place 4 now. Maybe we can do like a quick skip hit right here. We can see, what do we get? Can we improve? Should be able to. I just did 1 hit, so we are top 3 now, and probably grew a little bit more there. But this artifact, you can see, this really helped me to get a higher rank there. The problem is, Blazeburn spell is not inherently earned from the stories, in fact earned from the season quests. And the season quests, they do of course bind into the story. You can see complete quest rules unbound, so completing quest is part of getting the points for this, but it's only earned from 300 points right here, and you can see my weekly limit is at 500 points, so I can even earn a little bit more. Problem is, I got those monthly benefits activated, and this means I have one of the gazettes, and this will allow me to basically get the loot 1 week ahead. So if your daily limit is now at 250 points, then it's probably because you don't have any of the gazettes. But fear not, I of course do have this solution, and that is LD Shop. LD Shop will make it a whole lot cheaper for you, and is now running a special offer for the Classic Gazette. You can get it for $3.68 right here, which is absolutely insane. Can even get a 15% discount, and you will get a 5% discount coupon on top of that if you register an account through my link down in the description. Not only do you get that, but you also support me and my channel, which definitely helps, and I deeply appreciate it. And this Classic Gazette that you get there will also unlock the extra week and will allow you to get the artifact immediately. So it's right now a pretty good buy on top of being in general very good value. So that being said, it is a little bit pay to win, I think. I'm not the biggest fan of this weekly limit increase, but it's been there. There is one other layer of pay to win at the start of the season that you basically only notice right in the new season. That is once again the Noble Path. Season Noble Path still includes season manuals. They do seem to be only in the free side. There is, however, still a little bit of a pay-to-win way to profit from that if you do want so. You can unlock the Season Secret Travel Token, while the main one right here will not really give you any like power in that case. This one, the Legendary Travel Token, will, because it will increase your milestone level by 20, thereby unlocking those Season XP targets a lot faster than you usually would, and this will give you a little bit of a power boost that might be enough to bring you ahead in future games like Supreme Arena or right now in Dream Realm. So a little bit of an advantage in there as well if you want so. And then another perk from the season that I don't want you to miss is also Transfiguration. At some points it is even required. You will unlock it natively throughout the story. You just have to play the story naturally. And then at one point you will get the Transfiguration. It took me about like 30 minutes. And you can see at some points you are now required to actually have it. You can then just transform into a wolf form. The wolf form is the earliest form. I think there are others later on. And at some points this will allow you to traverse otherwise impassable objects or impassable gaps in the map, and will allow you to complete this mode of light here, for example, and defeat this enemy. So we have another chest there, so we can claim that. And yeah, so this is just like one thing that this will allow you to do, and is rather important that you unlock that. So if you want to explore the map, I mean, you have to complete the story anyway, but this also allows you to get to this corrupt creature, which is a little bit of power, I guess. We also get to this chest over here for some people that were asking how to get there. So some people asking that question on Discord. So this is the way that you actually do it. You need the Transfiguration for that. And of course, Corrupt Creature really isn't too much power, but it's rather nice loot, so we definitely take it on top of all the other stuff. Just so you know that. A little bit more important on the other side is another game mode that we have, because what's back today is actually the Stellar Ascent event, and this is one that you really want to complete ASAP, because I have already done so. We can see the rewards right here. The first levels, they really only grant you a few summoning resources, but then starting from floor 6 you will get season manuals in here, so you want to make sure you clear it completely, at least the first 10 floors. The last 2 are a little bit tough, and what I noticed and what helped me a little bit completing it is using Cider in general. Cider and Athalia in the team, both of those have been doing very, very well. Cider in general, you guys know, for AFK stage is absolutely great. Keep in mind you can play that together with a friend, so if you have like a guildmate or something that has Cider and you don't have her, you can just go ahead, play this together with a guildmate and clear it easily thereby. The other thing that I normally do is I normally use Cider together with Pandora and to try to do that, but then notice throughout the fights, especially starting with one stage that had Bonnie in there, my Pandora just died too early, so it didn't actually give my Cider any energy. So that was the point where I kind of switched it over and went with Athalia to just use some extra damage. But there are multiple options to do so. Alna has been doing really well in here. You can go with Chimera. Chimera will die very early if you don't support her and try to keep her alive through other means. I guess Alna is a good option for that. Otherwise, you can go with something like Callan, of course, to make this a little bit easier. This will definitely work. And keep in mind, there is the option to just CC the enemies. The usual artifacts don't really do that. We don't really have a CC artifact in here. We have damage, but old ones do. And I'm pretty sure you can use those as well. I went with the newer ones, mostly with the energy one, because I just wanted to get my Cider energy up again, but you should be able to use those and that will help you as well, and will give you a little bit of extra season manuals that will help you get a higher level and thus do better in all the game modes. Will be especially noticeable once you're in Supreme Arena. Then we have 2 new heroes, and I want to give you like a short, quick review for this. We'll later on get in more depth there. I already made a video about the mechanics of Solace if you want to check that out. Same for Aurora, which is the other hero. So both of those, there are videos on my channel. Solace, however, got nerfed. We have to mention that. She got a little bit of a buff in her initial energy, which kind of came together with like a decrease to some weird energy gain that she had. It all ended up, despite this being, well, a buff to the initial energy, for her to ult slower than we had on Pioneer, which is bad. I have to say that. This is rather bad. She was also kind of used for her buffs, which were also nerfed. So this is kind of another problem with her. We have to see how good she really is right now. She's no longer like on my list for being an initial P4 hero. I wanted to really summon her to P3 or P4. I'm no longer in that mind space right now and will probably settle for something like a Supreme Plus and slowly upgrading her, which is something that is more the direction that we have. The other hero that we have is Aurora. Aurora, for the more veteran players, you actually got just per mail. So you got a mail with all of the copies that you needed to Supreme Plus her, which is absolutely great. Love that step by the developers to just give us like this hero for free. And for the newer players, you will actually have a quest there. I explained it in my Aurora video as well, where you can obtain her through that. She's a very great hero. I like her. I'm not really planning on upgrading her for PvP at the moment right now. I would rather prefer to go for PvP with something like a Kulu, but she's a nice hero nonetheless, and I guess if you have her at Supreme Plus, that is more than enough for the moment. So that being said about the new heroes, then we have a lot of new cosmetics, some very, very interesting choices right there. They actually included the new pay-to-win cosmetics, we can say. It's not really pay-to-win, I guess, because you don't really win, you just pay. But you can get like the big, I don't even know what's called. The big thing right here. We saw it in my video about all of the new cosmetics that are going to be in this season. It is now available, and I think the worst fears of the people have kind of come true, and I want to show that in this video because this was one of my most popular questions under my video I made about the homestead was like, what are all the VIP rewards? So we kind of want to take a look at that. Most of the early stuff pretty much stayed the same. You can see there are just some normal increases right there. Starting here, you actually start to earn the resources. This was the first one where we saw, where you get some parts of it. This was then some stuff that we didn't really see. And you can see there are now always those offers in here that have varying percent values. A lot of those I wouldn't even consider, like this one. This is like super bad actually. And there are some that include like heroes. I mean, a Gala copy isn't too bad, but really I haven't really seen great value in here. And they just threw those homestead, well, decorations in there at certain levels. The most interesting one, I reckon, is probably the one that I just showed. Sadly, this one is at VIP 19. They put it at VIP 19 or 18. We'll see it in a second. This one is very cool because you get the ground, the starry streams at like VIP 13. So also like an interesting one. They didn't change all of the levels. All of the old cosmetics are still in there. It's just that they added some new. So at some levels where you didn't really have a lot of rewards, they now added in like the throne here, we have the tree, and you always get like the crafting resources with it as well. Then we have VIP 18, and I think VIP 19, if I remember correctly, yeah, that's the one where you actually get the Grand Orrery. I was surprised to see that actually they didn't really change the following levels, because a very common criticism was that after VIP 20 there's basically no more loot in here. So, well, no more loot is wrong because you get the 1000 Twilight Essence, but like I heard the complaint from some very big whales that they said, I want to have something special for reaching like VIP 25 or something, I don't know. I can understand that. Me personally, I don't plan to reach that level anytime soon, but they haven't changed that despite adding new loot to that. So yeah, just a little pointer on that one. Yeah, so overall that was like everything I wanted to tell you guys about the new season, about the start for that. There is some very interesting stuff. There are some new buildings that you can build for your homestead. There is now the claim all feature, the harvest all feature that you can use, which looks absolutely gorgeous, I have to say it. But really, that is all. If you want to support me through my link in LD Shop, we'll very soon also do a giveaway on this channel. Maybe provide some of you guys with a few classic gazettes like we did in the past. So definitely subscribe if you are interested in that. And with that, I would just wish you a great day, a great start into the season, and we'll see us in the next one.